Hi, I'm not going to use the mics at this point. I should let everyone know my degree was elementary education. So I taught in the States kindergarten and first grade, so I can really project my voice when I have to. And you'll see that in just a minute. But I wanted to say thank you again. My name is Elaine Orla, and I am currently the chairman of the Talent Board, which is the nonprofit organization that is facilitating the Candidate Experience Awards. We have the North America program, and we also have a program here in the UK. And we're going to be celebrating tonight the award ceremony and the announcement of the UK and Ireland company winners. But one of the things that I was responsible for doing right now is just giving you guys a little bit of an insight into the overall program and what we have to offer from the candies. And one of the differences when we set out 4.5, it's almost 5 years now, to bring attention to the candidate experience. The concept in the time when several of us were sitting at a conference talking about the fact that what's happening in our industry and what's happening with recruiters. The candidates were frustrated. The term we heard on a regular basis almost every other day was the black hole. I submit a resume, a CV, nobody ever calls me back. I have no idea what's happening. The States, we were going through a recession and just coming out. Globally, there was a lot of transition and turmoil going on. And several of us sat down and said, well, wait a minute. It is about the candidate experience. They're a stakeholder in this recruiting process that we have. They don't really have a voice in the overall process or a way in which to express collectively what they feel is the most important to them and how we can improve. And at the end of the day, they're the most important aspect to what we deliver from talent acquisition. So we set out to build the Talent Board as an organization, as a nonprofit, and the intention for that was to create a movement and a rally around the importance of candidate experience and then giving organizations the tools that they needed to better bridge their strategies with the candidate expectations and an overall improvement of their recruitment practices. So with that, we created the program on a couple of different premises. One is it's predominantly a benchmark reporting program. It is free for any corporation to participate. It will remain free for any corporation to participate for as long as I continue to get elected chairman, which has been 3 years running now. So the intention on that, again, is because of the benchmark data, this is a tool back to our community, back to those that are in talent acquisition, those that are in recruiting, that are wrestling with ways in which to improve your process. That tool is given back to you as part of just participating in the benchmark. That's round one. Round two is if you choose to go through the process to survey your candidates, we'll execute and deliver the survey process. You deliver it to your candidates. Those results come back to you again as your data to do the analysis on and to understand what's happening within your candidate realm. If your candidates give you a results back, the candidate scores have to come back at a certain threshold, then your company is automatically a part of the awards process. So we call it, my terminology, it's an inclusion-based award. So in the States, we had 62 companies that won for 2014's North America program. That's because of the 150 plus companies that participated, 62 of them came above an average candidate experience based on their candidate survey data, not on any private judging, not on any other committee or council, not on any other cost or performance level model. It was purely based on the candidates' responses to their overall surveys. Second question I usually get right now is, yeah, but how could you validate that those were valid candidate responses? And we can. We had 95,000 candidate responses in a 7-week process in the States program this year. So as we move into the UK program, the only slide I wanted to present to you, because as we move into the topic of candidate experience, I wanted to piggyback on something that was said before. And as candidates, as customers, they are in the driver's seat now in our recruiting processes. Candidates are turning away from organizations that treat them poorly. They're telling their friends they've been treated poorly. They're telling their colleagues that they've been treating poorly, and that is starting to have the ripple effect with organizations on their ability to attract the right talent. If we think it was a battle before on just payment, on the compensation strategy, I want $10 more, I want 10K more. The competition now is going to be all about the impression and the experience that they had in the process. So this slide, just as a quick catch-up, again, we have the North America program and we have the UK program, and one of the key things that we've looked at year over year is, seriously, the trends must be radically different across each sides of the pond. Everything must be different from an organizational perspective, where in fact, we continuously find that the candidates want the exact same thing, regardless of what country what region or territory they are applying to. They want to be treated with respect. They want to know where they fall in the process. They want to be responded to in a quality manner. And they are also taking their story to their closest friends, and they're taking their story to social media. So in these top scores, just so I can run this through, inner circle, we asked a key question on all the candidate surveys. How many people do you find in your inner circle? This is another area I said, well, surely my kids who are millennials will say that they have everybody, their 500 plus friends on Instagram because they're not on Facebook anymore. Their 500 plus friends on Instagram are their inner circle, but that's not the truth. The millennials in our program said anywhere from 4 to 6. The same thing with baby boomers, the same thing with Generation X. So with everybody in that same inner circle, what I found in the two color schemes, because I didn't really get all the colors correctly in the new chart, the top one, 82.8% said that out of 100% said that they would tell their inner circle about a positive experience from the North America program, 83% from the UK program. So what basically we're saying is 8 out of 10 people, if they have a positive experience, will tell at least one person in their inner circle about that great experience. Now, inner circle could be a family member, could be a customer of yours, it could be the other person going through the same college or degree program. We have to think about that positive implication, the fact that they will share something so positive. On the same side, though, 65.8% and 54% respectively will tell about a negative experience. So these numbers, while similar across the board, what we looked at from 2 years ago to now, these have doubled. So 2 years ago, in asking this question of the candidate population, it was in the 20s and it was in the 50s, and they both have come up. So we're seeing, again, candidates are taking that option to say that this is our chance, this is our only voice. Tell our closest friends how we felt about the experience. The second thing we saw a large jump in is the social amplification of their experience. 50% in North America, 40% here in UK said that they would tell somebody, they would say something publicly about the experience. That would be they would tweet about it, blog about it, post it on Facebook, write a comment back on the company page, whatever those options might be. So 5 out of 10 of your candidates will talk about a positive experience. Now, how many candidates did you have come in for interviews last week? So you got to take a total number of candidates you had come in for interviews last week and think half of them, if they had a positive experience, would actually go and do a lot of your social marketing for you by creating more of that positive experience. But on the flip side, we're starting to see the same trend increase on the negative. 3 out of 10 will say something negative. Now, we think there's a reality for this. A job search, a job apply process is very, very personal. Plus, many of the people that we're recruiting are also already employed. So how can they go out and say something completely negative about somebody that they interviewed with if they don't want to jeopardize their current employment? But just the fact that 3 out of 10 are willing to say something negatively, that they will go through the process of actually publishing how bad that experience was somewhere, just again continues to perpetuate that the candidates are in the driver's seat. So I bring this to you as one of the statistics that we have. We have crazy big data. We look at the data as tools for which organizations can use to better improve your process. All of the data sets are public from a core question set. You can go out to the website at any time and pull down any of the questions that we ask. We're very transparent about all of the questions that are published. We have major reports that come out year over year. The UK report will come out in a couple of months from all the survey data that's just been finished being collected. We are starting the new programs right off the bat and on the heels of this past program. So if you have not participated in the awards before, again, I recommend it's free for any organization to participate. You can just do the employer benchmark and just see how you compare against the other employers. You can choose to do the candidate surveys. You can choose to be considered for the award. If you don't win, by the way, yeah, your information remains anonymous. We will never publish which companies didn't win. We will only make sure that we publish which companies did win, and again, and that's based on the candidate results data. So just a tiny little bit of passion around candidate experience, I think you've seen so far. And I think with our afternoon session and all of the topics really being focused around the same thing, I'm going to be talking about candidate resentment over here, which is not 34% or 31%. It's probably 1% of that 31%. And resentment is incredibly negative, so bad that I'm willing to change my behavior and everything that I do to make sure that I don't ever have anything to do with your organization again. And that implication is huge for many, many organizations.
And Elaine, how do people join or sign up for the process?
Candies.
Yes.
If you're interested in more, the easiest website, because I should have put it on a slide, but it is thecandidateexperience.org, which is the on the marketing collateral that's here. The other one is it's thecandies.org, CANDES.org. We'll get you to the website. Registration is there for both of the programs. You can sign up for the newsletters, download the reports. We'll be launching again the next program in a couple of weeks, so you'll be able to see a lot of those details. The key person to reach out to, I'm here from the States, Lee, who's standing in the back, who made me do this instead of him, is our UK program director and responsible for what will be expanding into our full EMEA program this year. As we've done North America overall, and that's included Canada and Mexico, we really want to extend into more of what's happening over here from a full regional and Europe perspective. So Lee will be championing all that for us this next year.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
I'll let you talk about programs.